the fuck Minerals, who I don't even view as a real human being.
It's guys like Minerals.
Let's have it right.
He's not on my radar. I don't care about him.
You got the Minerals too.
One of them brown envelope mobs.
No Minerals.
Minerals.
The realness of this guy.
Let's have it right.
Respect.
Do you know what I mean?
Johnny Minerals.
The realness of this guy.
Minerals. Let's have it right.
Minerals FC need proper winning Minerals, mate.
Let's have it right.
Respect.
I'm just a brown envelope, or I'm
Absolutely screwed. Let's have it right.
Brown envelopes.
You brown envelopes from the club.
You got the Minerals to fight for his place.
You are in the woods wronging. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you taking the time out to say that. Cheers. This one's for you. Greetings from Centre Parks, by the way. That's the background. I hope you're all well. This is just ridiculous, though, isn't it? The Minerals.
Minerals FC.
Do you know what I mean?
Johnny Minerals.
Johnny the fuck Minerals.
The Minerals. In them, we know that they have the minerals. We've not.
There's minerals that you need.
It's guys like Minerals and
You got the Minerals too.
Let's have it right.
Minerals.
Johnny Minerals.
like Minerals is one of the very vociferous Chelsea fans.
Minerals FC mudded me. I couldn't give a shit about that guy.
Let's have it right.
Hey, Johnny's got the fucking Minerals, mate.
Can everybody just stop getting shot? So have it right, up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC, big up to every single one of you live and locked in. Up everyone is doing well in life. First and foremost, I want you all to smash to pieces that like button. If you haven't smashed it, smash it right now. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so. We've got the notification bell, ding dong, let's have it right, so you know when we go live. And we got the Minerals FC Ultras membership down below in the description. Salute to all the Minerals FC Ultras. Salute to our Chelsea old boys. We see things they'll never see. And salute to no surrender mentality. And literally big up to every single one of you that are live right now. All of the Ultras in the chat. Respect to everyone. Land it, bruv. Land it in the chat. Say whatever you feel. For all those that are watching that don't want to be seen, that just want to keep an eye on the Minerals FC, let them read that chat, bruv. Let them read that chat, because the chat is always golden, it's always lit, and it's always truth-telling, bruv. Let's have it right. And we welcome newbies into the chat that might have a different opinion, but let's have it right. We're here to convert. We're here to convert them, you know what I'm saying, to the truth, not to the PR. Because, as the title says, they've lied. People, I could say they've lied to us, but they haven't lied to us because we know what they're about. They've lied to you. They've lied to you. The brown envelopes have lied to you. The blue ticks, they lied to you. The YouTube platforms, they've lied to you. The ownership, they've lied to you. I haven't lied to you. I've been honest and straight up about everything that's happening. And to be honest with you, it's no surprise. It's just getting a bit jarring for me. You know, when I first started my channel, we had Don Roman, we had Thomas Tuchel. I was the most positive geezer. Like, I would fight to the death to defend all the players, the manager, the ownership. It was just talking ball, bruv. It was talking football. That's what we did. Yeah. Now it's different levels, bruv. Now it's the brown envelope matrix, which I was aware of, even when we had Roman, even when I started my channel, even before when I was going on platforms, yeah, and people want to get personal and all that nonsense. When I made my channel, I knew what the media is about. I know exactly what their game is. And I know how it goes. And they were already feeding agenda on Thomas Tuchel, if you remember, at the start. All the platforms. And then you got the failed actor Jennings putting Tuchel out videos, and Goldbridge going on with Nini on Talk Sport and saying he can't coach an attack and we're on a decline. The kickoff, are Chelsea on a decline under Tuchel? People calling in on Talk Sport, platforms giving it about Tuchel. You know, it was building then, and I was the only one. I was fighting against it, bruv. I wouldn't have it. People feeding agenda on our players that won us Champions League. You know, Mason Mount won us Champions League, got the biggest open play assist for Chelsea Football Club in their history to win that second star Champions League. Yeah, that trophy, that elite trophy, the pinnacle of football, yeah, wore the number 9 shirt, and we've just given it to Mamadar Sarr, whatever his name is. I don't even know about this kid. Like, it's just mental. We retired Zola's number 25, and we gave it to Casado, who's a DM, like a defensive midfielder. All right, that number's for a magical player. That number's got heritage. You don't just hand that number out. Yeah, we gave John Terry's number 26 shirt to Koulibaly. Got the PR that Koulibaly calls John Terry and says, "Oh, I want to wear your, you know, do I get your blessing and permission and that?" And of course, what's John Terry going to say, bruv? You know what I mean? What's he going to say? Only for us to ship him out a year later, where it all started, you know, where you could see they're buying and selling players after just one season. And then it gets handed to Colwill, Levi Jeans, like that. I mean, what are we doing here? And then he gets Thiago Silva's number 6. It's just a shambles on all levels. It really is just a mockery of the lack of understanding of our football club and the culture. And it's a winning culture at this football club. You know, we were winning cups before Roman. We were already winning trophies. We weren't like in the gutter. We were winning Cup Winners' Cup. We were winning League Cups. We were winning the FA Cup. Like, we were winning trophies. And we were elevated with the Italian connection, Vialli, Zola, Di Matteo. You know, we brought in Ruud Gullit, bruv, who changed the style of play, the identity of Chelsea, laid the foundations. And you got Ruud Gullit, you know, introduced himself to Meatloaf Tout Bowley, and the geezer doesn't even know who he is. Ballon d'Or winner, FA Cup winner with Chelsea, had us in a title race, built a foundation at Chelsea, played in the greatest AC Milan team. Like, doesn't know who he is. Asked him, what did you do? Oh, I played for Chelsea, I managed Chelsea. Oh, when was that? Oh, what, were you a manager? Oh, wow. Yeah, Meatloaf Tout Bowley walks past Eden Hazard down the tunnel, and Hazard's like, is this geezer for real? Like, he just blanked me. Like, I'm like classed as a legend at this football club. I've done so many great things at this football club. I'm one of the most gifted players to grace Stamford Bridge. And you just walk past me like that. It's like Ruud Gullit said, they don't understand. The culture's gone. The DNA of Chelsea's gone. And everyone keeps shoehorning, this is a new era at Chelsea. No, it's not. I don't want to accept. I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to accept these standards. These standards are in the gutter. You know, where are the standards at our football club? Let's be honest. The fan base have just allowed these standards to fall off a cliff. We've got all of our goats, Czech, Terry, Lampard, Didier Drogba on Mount Rushmore, and now they're knocking it down, bringing us kids. They don't want to buy superstars. They want to make superstars. It's all for a pound note. We've had the Iron Lady, Marina Granovskaya. We've had Peter Kenyon. And now we've got Winstanley Stewart and Joe Shields, Uncle Joe Shields, doing wonders at Chelsea with his one-hit wonder of Cole Palmer. You know, I find it incredible that everyone's had a sample size of 3 years now. And this is the make or break for everyone else, not me. Like, they ain't changing. They're not going to change. They're not going to change the model. They're going to stick with it. They've publicly come out and told everyone they're going to not change the model. So if you're not going to change the model, that means you're not going to bring in experience. You're not going to bring in players with real credibility, proven players that can elevate Chelsea Football Club to the next level. You're not going to pay high wages to get these players. So you're always going to stagnate with the level that we've been served up on a silver platter right now, which is an average age of 20 years old, maybe even 19 years old. Like, where do you draw the line? Where do you want to go with it? We've turned from a trust-winning trophies football club to trust the process. And the process ain't even working. And these deluded supporters out there have got the audacity and the arrogance and cheek because it suits their narrative to go, well, we've got top four and we've won a trophy. Well, what trophy have we really won? And how did we get top 4? Let's be honest about it. Was it such an easy ride? Oh, this is progression. On what sense is it progression? Because every year I'm looking at this squad getting ripped apart. Every transfer window. Dismantled. There's no stable foundation laid. The core's getting disrupted. You're not bringing in upgrades. You're bringing in either the same level or downgrades. So what's the progression going to be? Because eventually it's going to catch up with you. Eventually the brown envelopes run out, as we've seen from yesterday, which we're going to talk about. But you can't buy it. It doesn't last forever. And I'll tell you this now, you're running out of time. And you don't get time in the Premier League, and you definitely don't get time in the Champions League. You can't get away with these ones. You know, I don't want to hear anyone's target being, oh, I'm happy with an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup next year. I'm happy to get top 4 next year because that's our trophy nowadays. And let's have a go at the Champions League. No. We're Chelsea Football Club. When we're in the Premier League, we go to try and win the Premier League. We are set up and built to win the Premier League. And when we play in the Champions League, we always play in it to try and win it. There's none of this participation FC nonsense. I'm not accepting it, bruv. I'm not accepting it. And it doesn't matter what you tell me. Doesn't matter what you serve me up. I don't care what you want to say to me. I ain't accepting it. Because my standards will always be up there, as they should be. And the moment you accept low standards and you accept what is being served up, then our football club will continue to go in that direction. It ain't going to go up. It's going to stagnate where it is. Because this project is not for football. We have literally pocketed the worst owners in football history. They are worse than the Glazers. As I went on TalkSport as a caller, as a supporter, to call up. Because I'm not arrogant. I'm not egotistical. I don't need to be invited on TalkSport. I don't need a whole Zoom call. I don't need to be on a panel with some celebrities on there or ex-pros. I'll just call up like any supporter. And I said, these owners are worse than the Glazers. 2 years ago. You can go and watch the video, which is on my timeline. Yeah? And people wanted to laugh. I said, sack the directors. This project's not going to work. They only sign kids. It's all about making money. You've sacked our elite gaffer and you've brought us in mid-managers, mid-directors, mid-players. The majority of them are mid. They're not anywhere. They should be nowhere near Chelsea Football Club. They are worse than the Glazers. And the reason they're worse than the Glazers is everyone's fully aware, factually, that the Glazers have Man United in serious debt. And they're using the club to pay the interest of that debt and not pay the debt. But Blueco have taken upon Chelsea Football Club almost double the debt of the Glazers in 3 years when the Glazers are running Man United for 19 years. That's how bad it's got. You see, people don't talk about the finances. They like to talk about wages and justifying sustainability like it's benefiting their bank accounts, that they're all accountants on the timeline and on their platforms. But when you really want to talk about the facts of what private equity firms are about and how they run businesses and what their main aim is to generate 3 times, 4 times, 2 times the return of what they put their outlay, what their outlay was initially from the get-go. Yeah. Well, the facts are we're in almost double debt. And the interest rate is more than what the Glazers' interest rate is at Man United. So if you're new in here, you've got Aries Management, who are a preferred shareholder, all right, now under Blueco, who have loaned Egg Barley and Clear Lake, because they're the ones that took the loan, by the way, who are 62% shareholders of Chelsea Football Club, took 500 million on 13% interest rate, or just under 13% interest rate. And the syndicate bank loans, JP Morgan and Bank of America, the 2 American banks, 702 million at 7.7% interest with Sonia. Right? They're facts. You can go and research that. That has to get paid every year. The interest alone has to be paid. But Clear Lake and Blue ain't worried about that. And they're not worried about paying that off because they're blaming it on PSR. They're fully aware of buying and selling players, loaning players to make money, bruv. To bankroll the loan. But the loan is for 10 years. Can be paid off at any time before 10 years. And they can sell before 10 years. They're not locked in. That's a Fugazi narrative. Yeah? And all the ones that are in their pocket know it's a Fugazi, which is why they don't speak on it. But the whole aim of this game by this ownership is to build the value, not of Chelsea Football Club by winning things and generating money to win trophies. No, because Spurs have proven you don't need to win trophies to generate the most money, and they're generating the most profits because they've got the stadium. But we can't build a stadium. So the only way they can generate profit and build the value of Chelsea is by many components. The first one is the obvious one, buying young players, low wage structure, and easy on a low wage structure to sell players. Easy to upgrade their salary to a point to keep their stocks up if they're performing, all right, and keep them in the team. And advertisement Chelsea to increase their value. The ones that ain't at surplus to requirements, because they're on low wages, you can ship them out. You can ship them out, no problem. And every year, the transfer fee that they've paid on the books depreciates up to, I think it's almost 20% it depreciates by on the books. So if they keep a player for 1 year, their transfer fees depreciated on the books. They can still sell that player for the same amount they bought and make profit on the books. All right? Because that's what it's all about. Plus the wages are low. So it's not costing the club. They are up there because the wage structure is low. The only model to make money on this structure is like the Brighton model and the Red Bull model. And that's why every player that they buy has to fit the criteria of age under the age of 24, because you've got resale value and you can keep them for 3 years and sell them on. All right, cool, tick. We go through the ticks. We'll keep refreshing everyone's memory. That's a tick. The wage structure, under 150 grand a week, tick. Because then if we're stuck with them, it's not going to hurt them on the books because the wage structure is not 300 grand, 250 grand a week, right? So they're covered there. It's an insurance policy. Let's have it right. Tick. All right. Can we give them a death row contract 8 years or 7 years? Then we can spread the payments out. Tick. All right. And do they have resale value? Do they have resale value? Tick. What does the data say? What's the AI scouting telling us? What's the money ball telling us? What's the data of these players, these young players? All right. Looks good. Tick. If it fits all those criterias, all right, and you've got the opportunity to have image rights, branding, and trademark, tick. If it has all those things, that fits their model, fits their blueprint for Blueco, unproven model in the history of football. Never been done before. But what it does is it generates stocks for them. That's why they bought 45 players, 48 players. And it's a lottery. Some of them you're going to win. Some of them you're going to break even. Some of them you're happy to just break even. Some of them you might lose. But the percentages, like Goldman Sachs on Wall Street and in the stock market, if you look at their charts, predominantly the losses are like 10% compared to the winnings every year because they control the market. They're controlling the market with the AI software, the data, the yes man model, the directors that have been briefed to recruit the right profile player to fit that criteria. And in the meantime, to justify it all, we're going to use Fabrizio Romano, Paulstein, Toothpick Jacobs, Nizar Kinsella, Rahman Osman. We're going to use Matt Law, all the tier one journalists. And then we're going to go to Vincey. We're going to go to Pies and Mash. We're going to go to Chelsea Dodgers. We're going to go to Tom Bendover's. We're going to go to that RJ Journalism. We're going to go to all these other accounts that are on the platform to push that narrative and feed to the masses to manipulate the fan base into justifying why it's the right way to go and why it's going to work, and you have to trust the process. But you don't know what the process is all about, all right? Because your only focus is on football as a supporter, but their focus isn't football. Their focus is purely profit, purely financial. Every decision made at this football club is based upon finances, and that's a fact. The track record tells you that. I know that. I know what the model is. It's a fact. The debt dictates the model, which is why they can only go with the Brighton model. That's why they worship that model, but they've upped the notch where they pay slightly premium prices. They PR with the players, with the supporters. Look, we've bought Casado, we've bought Enzo, we've paid big money for these players, we're showing intent, but in reality, there's still no guarantees and they're not proven ready-made players. You're praying that they do become that. But the data might be better with these certain players, or their branding might be good. And you know, no matter what, you can resell for Enzo Fernandez because he's Argentinian World Cup winner. You can resell Casado because of his performance right now. You know, he's doing well. Cole Palmer is a prime example of what the model is all about, in finding a player like Cole Palmer and hitting the jackpot. But the funny thing is, football doesn't work like that. The scouting market doesn't work like that. And you're not guaranteed to find 20 Cole Palmers or 40 Cole Palmers in every position. And it's already a proven track record that you cannot do that because you've been trying to do that and you're not doing it. The next flavour of the month is Esteval Willian. So Esteval Willian is the other one that they're going to try and bank on. But there's no guarantees. There is no guarantees in football that a young player can have all the talent in the world. Yeah. He can be vouched by senior players in the squad and go, this guy's a joke. This kid's a joke. But then you don't see them develop into what you think they're going to develop to. Because there's a number of factors of context. It's something the AI doesn't measure. And that's something called mentality, dedication, commitment, family lifestyle. Have they got the right environment around them in their own private life? Are they all blown away by the diamond shopping, the Rolexes, the supercars, the holidays, the OnlyFans, sloshpot merchants? Which way are they going to go at a young age? It's very, very dangerous to throw death row contracts. As you saw Jamie Kittens storm off in his motor because he's pissed, not because he didn't sign for Chelsea, that he missed out on the opportunity to get that death row contract of 120 grand a week for a 20-year-old. Do you understand the context of throwing 120 grand a week at a 20-year-old kid who's unproven for an 8-year contract he's made? That's it. He's set. And he couldn't give a shit, like the majority of these players, whether they do get treated disrespectfully, because they know they're going to go and get another club. Because why? They played at Chelsea Football Club. And it's the heritage, the culture, the DNA, the history, the stature, the brand of Chelsea Football Club that not only entices all these so-called young superstar kids, but it makes it very easy to offer them ridiculous contracts at a wage structure that suits these clowns, where they ain't going to get anywhere else at any other club. And maybe they might get similar wages, but they'll be playing for a Brentford instead. What would you prefer as a 20-year-old, 18-year-old, 16-year-old? You'd prefer that, wouldn't you? You'd prefer to come to Chelsea and come to London. It's a very dangerous game that they're playing. Yeah, very dangerous game. And then you need to build the layer cake, their layer cake. They have to make sure that they cover up everything that goes on behind the scenes at the football club. They have to make sure everyone's NDA'd up, managers, players, staff, Cobham staff. Everyone's got to be NDA'd up. No one's allowed to speak. No one's allowed to mingle with players no more. You're not going to get that anymore. You don't get it anymore, all right? Because they want a tight ship. Why? Because they don't want any leaks getting out of the true reality. Gunny came on the platform and he went on the trophy tour, the stadium tour. And there are people behind the scenes in the club that were working that recognise Gunny, acknowledge me, acknowledge Eunice, says we love what you do. But there's a lot of people that don't like what you do at the club. All right? There's people that work in the club that agree with what we say because they see it firsthand. You understand me? So if they keep everything tight knit, it's easy to control, because everything about this model is about hiding the truth that their only focus is money. This whole PR stunt that they want to win, they want to compete and all this nonsense. They're not going in the right way about it. Why? Because you've gone through 6 transfer windows. You're now into your 7th. You spent 1.6 billion. You might generate 600 million. But it's a factual statement that you've spent 1.6 billion. We have accumulated a list of 90 players you can look at under Chelsea Football Club. We got a 48-man squad. And we are still going in the market to buy players, to try and strengthen the squad. How is that even accepted? And how has anyone not even questioned that, where you spent all that money and Man City have just done a rebuild for about 400 million in 2 transfer windows with serious intent, with a core spine, with experience in the team, with the blueprint of football, with an elite manager, with ownership that isn't just about money. It's about making Manchester City bigger than Man United. That's their ultimate aim and goal. We don't have that at Chelsea. You're PR'd that. They're lying to you about that. Because no one can tell me that this squad that we've built, that they've built, is a reflection of the amount of money we spent. The results are not a reflection of that. If any Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Man City, Liverpool spend 1.6 billion, do you honestly believe that they're going to buy the players that we bought and have a stockpile of 11 goalkeepers, 12 defenders, 10 midfielders, fucking 4 strikers, 5 or 6 wingers, and you keep buying and selling? 6 months last summer transfer window, we bought Viega and Felix. 6 months later, they're sold. They're loaned out mid-season, surplus to requirements. But we've been PR'd. We're backing the manager, and now you're bringing them back, but they're up for sale. You've set your price on them. You treat Cobham players with the most disrespect. It's just disgusting. All right, Trev Chalobah's a key example. All right, you've sold Conor Gallagher for pure profit and had to buy Felix. So that's why Felix is at Chelsea for the second stint. You know, Mason Mount, another one, forced him out, agenda, fed agenda. Bowley's liking tweets, slandering Mason Mount with the supporters, going on Twitter spaces, and everyone's going, we love you, Bowley, and we want you, sell Mason Mount, sell Jorginho, sell Kai Havertz, sell Kovacic. Kovacic is meant to be dead wood, yet he's already won a title with Man City. He's in their squad still. He's experienced in that midfield, mixed in with youth. And Pep doesn't think he's deadwood. Even Bettinelli, Pep Guardiola wants, that we've just got rid of. All right? So make it make sense. These are just very quick evaluations of what's happening. You know, you've stuck with Jackson for 2 years, and your answer is bring in Liam Delap to be our number 9 and give him the number 9 shirt. Why? Because he's a release clause. There's no negotiation. 30 million. He's on 20 grand a year. It fits the wage bracket, so you can triple his wages in his loving life. And there's resale value. Even if he flops, you'll get 30 million back because he's an English player. And he'll have more experience playing at Chelsea, advertise at Chelsea. That's the blueprint for Blueco. That's not intent. Everyone was waiting in, and listen, let's have it right. This is the first little transfer window. We're going into the next transfer window, all right? But it's going to be an exodus. Shout out Bob Marley. It's going to be an exodus of players out the door. Yeah? We've seen the list of players. That's their priority, because you can't have a 48-man squad going into now the Club World Cup, and we're going to talk about the Club World Cup, but you can't have a bolstered squad like that again with the manager that you're backing for the second season. It just doesn't work. You'll have too many unhappy players. We've already got unhappy players in the squad already. Listen, the Clown Lake Circus is back, truly back, but back in the eyes of everyone, because they must think that everyone is stupid. Yeah, I'm not, but people call me toxic and negative. The reality is you are thinking exactly what I've been saying for too long. If you have just witnessed what has happened in this first little snippet of the transfer window, look at the way the PR just spins like that, any way they want, like a pendulum, and they're literally MK Ultraing every single account on online. Anyone who reads the paper through the brown envelope journalists. Everyone's getting like blindsided by the Blue Co PR. You've got to understand, right? You listen. It's an absolute disgrace yesterday and for this entire transfer window that we were linked to Mike Maignan. And I said to you all, he's 29 years old. I don't get it, right? For me, I was shocked. You're looking at a 29-year-old. There's no resale value with this guy. I mean, there is to an extent. You can break even if he really does perform and you want to sell him in a year or two, which is probably likely with his lot. But you can't sign him on a death row contract. And the way he's within the wage structure. So you didn't want to give up because of the age bracket and the fact that he's got no resale value. You didn't want to give that up to build trust with the supporters, to actually back what you're saying in showing that, oh, we've got intent and we want to win. Like Ed Barley goes, oh, we so crave to be in the Champions League. Well, why did you destroy us, dismantle a Champions League winning team, gut us out for us to be out of the Champions League for 3 seasons and now finally get into it in the 4th year? If you so crave Champions League. Mike Maignan is a leader, experienced, proven. Some people say he's not world class. Some people say he's not elite. I mean, he is. He's proven. He's at a level. He's a man in the dressing room to set standards. And you didn't want to give up 20 million. But you want to go and put in a bid in for Jamie Kittens, who's 20 years old, for what? 35 million? Like that. Aggressively. And you still couldn't get the deal done. Because of what? You call it Club World Cup tax for Fabrizio for Mike Maignan. This is Blue Co tax and Blue Co model tax. Yeah? How can you even justify not bidding for Kittens at that price, but not being able to pay 20 million for Mike Maignan? If that doesn't tell you what their intent is and what they're really about, I don't know what to tell you, bro. People should be protesting for that because it ain't going to change. And you'll have two sides, because there's always divide and conquer with these clown owners. Yeah, all right. What's one side? We want Mike Maignan. He's an upgrade on every goalkeeper. He's better than Petrovic. He's better than Sanchez. He's better than Jorgensen. He's better than Penders. Facts, right? Then you've got the other side saying, no, I want to stick with Petrovic. Why do we need Mike Maignan? But for 20 million, maybe we take him, you know? Oh, no, they're trying to hold us to ransom, AC Milan. No, we're not going to do that. Don't pay him the wages. Don't pay more than 12.6 million. Why? Why not? It's tuppence, it's penny pinching at this rate in the game for the ilk of goalkeeper and player that you're getting. And now, the ones that want Petrovic, you're in the mud. Because it breaks out that he's not going to the Club World Cup. Petrovic, who got number 1 stats, was the player of the season at Strasbourg, doesn't go to the Club World Cup. But they PR by Matt Law and Jacobs and all these lot that the only player they're taking from Strasbourg to the Club World Cup is Andre Santos, who wasn't the player of the season. What are we doing here, mate? How are we justifying that? Petrovic, yeah, stats-wise, data-wise, is levels above Jorgensen, Penders, who we ain't seen, and Sanchez. Sanchez, who has the most unforced errors in the Premier League this season compared to Mike Maignan, who has less unforced errors over 4 seasons. But the PR is, oh, Sanchez, we believe in him. He's got all the ingredients to be world class. Yeah? That was the PR during the season. And that Sanchez, he saved us 9 points. Bollocks. Bollocks. So someone explained to me how we've gone from Enzo Maresca last season saying Sanchez is our number 1 goalkeeper, to then go Jorgensen's our number 1 goalkeeper because he was a shamble, Sanchez, to then flip the script to say, no, Sanchez is the number 1 goalkeeper. And I trust in Robert Sanchez. He's shaved his hair, gone commando. He's up for it. Yeah. To then go through this whole little mini transfer window, PRing from you, the same brown envelopes, that what? Enzo Maresca doesn't trust any of the 4 goalkeepers currently at Chelsea. He's desperate for Mike Maignan. There's Zoom calls going on. Enzo Maresca's definitely on a Zoom call because he was on the blower to Victor Osimhen last summer. Probably enticing Mike, why we really want you and you're my perfect goalkeeper. We got us going through deadline day to try and sign a player. All you've got to do is bid more than 12.6 million and go to 20, job done. You ain't going to get anyone of Mike Maignan's level for 20 million and go and name me a goalkeeper. So you're telling me you've pulled out the deal because of Club World Cup tax. We've had Fabrizio Romano and everyone PR that Enzo Maresca wants him to then PR, and I've got him clips saying it, Fabrizio Romano, and every other Toothpick Jacobs, who PR'd, the ownership are very happy and the manager's very happy. Enzo Maresca's very happy with the 4 goalkeepers. He's got complete trust in them. And now you're not bringing back Petrovic, who kept Sanchez out of the squad in the season under Bottolino, who was fit to come on, and Petrovic kept him out of the team, who was raw, who had mistakes near post and on corners, but you sent him on loan to Strasbourg to show that statistically he's number 1. He's player of the season voted by the supporters and voted by the players and the club, to bring him back and now not take him to the Club World Cup, for him not to be our number 1 goalkeeper because he's better than Sanchez. And we are now going to the Club World Cup with Jorgensen, Penders, who they highly rate, the new Courtois that we ain't seen, wearing the number 939 shirt. Jorgensen and Sanchez as our number 1. And the whole point of loaning him is to allow him to develop, to come back to Chelsea so that he can play for Chelsea. I've got a clip of Petrovic saying, my ultimate goal is to be the number 1 at Chelsea, to play and win at Chelsea. And you're now exiling this kid, this Serbian kid from our Club World Cup tournament. It's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute joke. And I stand on Petrovic. He has got minerals in him. I feel more comfortable with him in goal right now from what I've seen at Strasbourg than I do with that fucking fraud Sanchez all day long. And what's a joke is that before all the Mike Maignan news and when it started brewing, what names were on the list? Sanchez is on the list to be sold, and Petrovic. Like every other player, everything's for sale at Chelsea. Everyone's for sale at Chelsea. Everyone's got a price. Facts. Right? But you're telling me you're not taking Petrovic. Now let me land the minerals as to why he's not. Let me land the facts. Yeah? Because people forget about the brown envelope narratives, and these are factual statements here. What's the one thing when Petrovic comes back, what happens? There's 2 things, actually. Number 1, he's got a release clause, and he can leave if he wants. And why is there a release clause? Because when he comes back, it's agreed that his wages increase. So if you have him as our number one goalkeeper, you're stuck with Sanchez on the books and every other goalkeeper. And who is more desirable to sell on the market right now? How many more suitors has Petrovic got than Sanchez, Jorgensen, and Penders? Well, no one wants Penders. They'll maybe take him on loan. No one wants Jorgensen, and no one definitely wants Sanchez. And Sanchez, you pay 26 million, 6 million more than Mike Maignan. All goalkeepers. That's why Petrovic has been exiled from Club World Cup. And he knows he's got suitors and he can see the state of this football club. And the fact that you've disrespected him, mugged him off, and are using him purely for profit because you bought him for 12 million. You sell him for 30 million, your quid's up, ain't ya? For you to go in the market and go and bring me what? Jamie Kittens, a Garnacho, Baby Lurch. Yeah, is that what we're doing here? To bring me another backup to Delap. Because if you can sell Jackson, you sell him. That's why we got the Petrovic news. And to add more insult, and more taking the biscuit out of the supporters, and a lot of them are still buying it. Someone explained to me and justify how you're not taking Petrovic, but you're taking Nkunku. All right. Let me play you this. And everyone smash the like button because you ain't getting this anywhere else. That's a fact. All right, where is it? It's on videos, yeah? Let's go videos. Here we go. All right, you ready? I think it's this one. Here we go.
What is going to happen with Nkunku? Yeah, for Christopher Nkunku, I think I can say in a very clear way that his chapter at Chelsea is over. So my understanding is that Chelsea consider Nkunku at the moment was one of the players they can sell. They can make some profit. Also, what is going to happen with Nkunku?
All right, there you are, from your kingpin guru that you worship, Fabrizio Fraud Romano. Yeah, there is no future for Nkunku. So why the fucking hell is he going to the Club World Cup? Because they need to advertise him to sell him. And because we've only got Delap and Jackson, and we've only got Neto, Mudueke, who they want to sell. And who else we got? Who's the other winger I'm missing? Tyreek George. 1.6 billion spent, and that's what we got. Esteval William can't play in the Club World Cup. He's playing with Palmeiras. Let's have it right. So that's all. So that's what 1.6 billion gets you after 6 transfer windows. That's the squad. Let me read you the squad. But before I do that, let's go through the narrative. Chelsea rate all 4 goalkeepers and we'll evaluate all of them at the Club World Cup. Chelsea are not looking to sign a goalkeeper. Maresca is desperate for Mike Maignan and wants a new keeper. He believes he needs someone with better distribution and he wants experience. He's always called out for experience, right? Chelsea have pulled out a Maignan deal. Maresca never asked for him, and Chelsea are happy with their 4 goalkeepers. Petrovic, Sanchez, Jorgensen, and Penders will all get a chance to battle for the number 1 spot and will go to Club World Cup more than likely. Chelsea have now omitted Petrovic from the Club World Cup squad. He is interested from lots of clubs. The fans are not idiots. Let's have it right. That's pies and mash. Decided to land some minerals, did we, son? Yeah? You keep flip-flopping. I'm tired of this narrative of these lot flip-flopping. Yeah? So, let me read out the squad. Let me read out the squad to you lot. Yeah? And big up to everyone in here. As always, I want you all to smash to piece that like button. Yeah? Let me smash. Where is it? Where's the squad, bro? Maybe I didn't save it. Let me get it now. Let me get it now. Let's get it now. Bosh. All right, here we go. Listen, ultras, yeah? I want you to listen to the names, yeah? Robert Sanchez, Cucurella. By the way, Cucurella, we don't have a backup left back for. Yeah? Look at that squad assemblement. Tozin, Uncle Tozin on a free. They'll make profit on him. Bedashile, who we've been told he's on the list to be sold. Levi Colwill, Pedro Neto, Enzo Fernandez, Liam Delap, Cole Palmer, Mudueke, Jorgensen, Isugo, we don't know nothing about. Jackson, who everyone was propaganda-ing, all right? Don't bring me Ozyman. Don't bring me anyone. That's going to stop the development of Jackson. Now you're happy for him to be sold because he's shit. Andre Santos, who's come back on loan, but Petrovic can't, who's been Strasbourg player of the season, yeah? Christopher Nkunku, who we've just been told by Fritz Romano, and everyone knows, even John Obi Mikel has said that Christopher Nkunku is no longer required. He's got no future at Chelsea, yet he's going to the Club World Cup, right? But they're going to exile Chilwell and Petrovic. They're doing the same thing they've done to Trev last year. They took Sterling and Broha. How can you value Broha at 30 million and you don't value Mike Magnan at 20? Drewsbury Weddinall, who's on the list? Trev Chalobah, who's on the list? Reece James, Casado, Gusto, Anselmino, Tyreek George, Akinpong, two Cobham boys, Gui, Penders, Salina, and Romeo Lavia. Is that a squad list that you read out and go, we got serious minerals in here, serious Galacticos in here. We've spent big money. You can see where all the money's been spent. World-class players throughout that squad. What am I reading? Bruv, I'm used to reading Czech, Terry, Drogba, Costa, Hazard, Robin, Duff, Essien, Ballack, Makelele, Mikel, Ferreira, Ivanovic, Ashley Cole, Carvalho, Cahill, Eduard Mendy was class yesterday. Like I say, we were served up Ballacks. Now we're getting served up rotten scallops at Chelsea. Yeah, this is a disgrace of a Club World Cup squad. What are we going to do with that? And you're going with me with the same goalkeeper, the same old problems, the same deficiencies in this squad. 1.6 billion spent on that. Are you winding me up? Is this a wind up? Who the hell is accepting that? We've had Juan Mata, Oscar. Trev Chalobah is free to leave this summer should Chelsea receive what they deem to be an acceptable offer for the Cobham graduate. Trev's our best centre-back and you want to ship him out for pure profit. Of course you do. To go in the market and do what? What do you keep doing? More kids. 20 million Magnum was there. You fucking clowns. Address it. Do you know what we're linked with today? And I told you lot. I said to you who we're going to be linked with. The one name that went under everyone's noses, but they planted the seed, bruv. They planted that seed, all right. Trafford from Burnley. Championship. Chelsea are amongst that. Interested. They'll pay 30 million for him. But you won't pay 20 million for Magnan. Get the fuck out of here, man. Win, lose, draw, blue co out. You understand me? Yeah? You ain't conning me. No one's conning me, bruv. Yeah? No one's conning me, bruv. Yeah? As said yesterday, Trafford has both Chelsea and Newcastle interest, but they got Pope. Yeah? All right? But Newcastle are most interested. All right? This is reported. No negotiation so far, but interest is there. Ask Burnley for the ask from Burnley is £30 million sterling. What a disgrace. Let me play this right now. I've listed you out the squad. Let me play you this right now. Yeah. Let's play this. Let's have it right. And smash that like button. What's wrong with you? And make sure you do subscribe. Let's have it right.
The pressure always should be at the owners, because they need to know that, yes, they've come in, they bought this football club. They've bought it in the sole purpose of what? Winning. Being successful. Not making profits, mate. No, not making profit. No. It's about winning. It's about winning trophies. Chelsea Football, if you buy Chelsea Football Club and thinking you are here to make profit, no, mate, you can fuck off. You can fuck off, because this club is about winning trophies.
All right, so if it's about winning trophies, we're not acting like that. John Obi Mikel, you know full well what happened with the Victor Osimhen deal. I've had Bushy Laber on here, all right, landing the facts that we wouldn't go over 150 grand a week. We had a full free run at Osimhen, who was dressed up as a full kit wanker in a Chelsea shirt, ready to sign, even though we're in Conference League. Before that, we had Pawnstein's telling us that Osimhen doesn't suit the style of football at Chelsea and the style of football of Enzo Maresca, his transfer fee and his injury record. We don't go by the data of the goals he scores and the assists he gets. So he'd rather go to Galatasaray than sign that wishy-washy contract to come to Chelsea and mug him off. And on top of that, just to put the cherry on the cake, they said, you need to come to us and prove that you're worth that and that you're elite. What a joke. All right. So John O'Neill comes out today and says this. Let's read these minerals out, shall we? Chelsea Football Club culture is winning straight away. If you want to win, you have to bring in Victor Osimhen. Now, previously, about 4 days ago, he came out and said the Chelsea owners are going a different route. They've chose to go a different route, and they want to stick with Jackson and Dilap. And I like Dilap. All right. He says, Dilap is a great young striker, but you have to wait and see if he'll do it at a big club like Chelsea. Did he do it this season with Ipswich? Of course. They got relegated, so there's much to take in. He says he's a proven striker. He's not proven on any level whatsoever, Dilap. And yes, Ipswich were relegated, so his goals, well, they needed more goals to keep him up, to give him more points, no? What are we doing here? He then says, with Victor Osimhen, if you want a finished article, if you want someone who can come in straight away, get you goals, win you trophies, you put you in the top 4, you have to pay the big bucks. That's what the big clubs do. Big clubs, elite clubs, with intent to win, establish ready-made, proven players. All right? Victor Osimhen is 60 million euros. That's 52 million sterling. He will come at a price of 260 grand, 250 grand, 280 grand a week, which is the standard going rate for an elite striker on the market, who for me is my number one striker choice. He's the one that will make the difference. And we have solved all our striker problems for the next 5-6 years. He's 25 years old, so there's plenty of resale value. Strikers are renowned to peak at 28, 29. You can sell him then and get your big pound notes, yeah? All right? He will come into this side, elevate the levels, the mentality. He's a killer in the box, and we will actually have a great chance at playing Champions League football to try and win, and obviously the Premier League. And if you had Mike Magnan in goalkeeper, these are the 2 positions in a football team that you do not play around with or sacrifice. These are the 2 positions. In fact, it's more than that. But everyone's like one hair on a nutsack. We're trying to get a blood out of a stone out of these reptilian clowns that are running our football club for the pound note. To bring us, we're asking for like 4. A world-class centre-back, goalkeeper, striker, and a number 10. Like a midfielder. Yeah? Because we ain't got a backup to Cole Palmer. We don't have anyone to play with Cole Palmer. He's the one we have to rely on. And there's no guarantees Cole Palmer's going to continue like that, because he dipped this year. And that's a worrying sign, because the environment of football's not right. The balance ain't right. The blueprint ain't right. You haven't got the balance of some elite world-class players, experience, mixed in with your younger experienced players, And we go on like, oh, they're all young. Jackson's still progressing because they're 22 years old. They're 23 years old, going on 23, 24. Cole Palmer's 23. Like, what are we doing here, bro? We had players like Havertz at 19, Mason Mount at 20, playing Champions League, winning Champions League final. Like, come on, man. Like, the bar's on the floor. Like, you're either at a top level at a young age and you're going to get better, or you're not. And the majority of these players they're buying are not. So if you don't have that experience, like Man City, look at the signings they're making. I don't need to list out all the signings, but look at the signings they're making. Look how quickly they got the deals done. They bought Cherky for 30 million. And we're scrimping at 20 million for Mike Maignan, a position that we are in so desperate need of. And you're shipping out Petrovic, who's the best goalkeeper that you've lot have bought up to now. And he's still not guaranteed to be any level that we need. We're playing Champions League. And this is the problems you get now. Mikel is pushing it, but as Bushy Larber told me and told us, yeah, they insulted him. He ain't coming to Chelsea. As much as I desperately want this guy, and I'll be absolutely buzzing for Victor Osimhen, he's not going to come to Chelsea. He's not coming to Chelsea. And Victor Gyökeres, it's Bet Victor, let's have it right, because these clowns love betting, all right, gambling. The other Victor Gyökeres, who is a number one target at Chelsea, from what I was told by Tobes, at the end of the day, you can talk to a player all you want. But now Sporting have broken a gentleman's agreement, because there is no gentleman's agreement in football unless it's contractual and stated legally, yeah? You can't go on a handshake, bruv, yeah? These lot are wanking on Zoom calls now, all these negotiators, bruv. It's mad. It's wild in the game of negotiation in the transfer market. And our owners can't finish a wank. They can't even start a wank, even on Zoom call, to get a deal done for Mike Maignan on tuppence. It's a joke. So, Justin, Kendry Paez. I remember I'd Sizzling Chelsea Old Boys, rest in peace, Chelsea Old Boys, on my platform 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago. And we announced on Sky Sports during the season, we signed a 15-year-old kid called Kendry Paez. And at that time, we were already calling out, and I was calling out the Kindergarten FC model, the Epstein FC model. And it's getting very, very fucking dubious right now. It's jarring. Yeah. Well, it's just in via Toothpick Jacobs that Kendry Paez is not going to be going to the Club World Cup. Paez is understood to be disappointed, as only last week he was told that he would be going to the Club World Cup and then have his future decided. So now you're pissing off young'uns that you've been PRing a generational that everyone's talking about, that you're just going to ship to Strasbourg. My little brother, he met Kendry Paez. I said, did you tell him he's going to Strasbourg? And that was before it was even announced, because he was promised when he signed for Chelsea, when you're ready to come and play in England, you're going to come into the first team squad. The PR was that. And look how they're mugging off young'uns now. So if you're pissing off an 18 or 17-year-old kid, well, how do you think Nkunku feels, or Trev Chalobah feels? How do you think Madueke and Cucurella feel, knowing that they were trying to sell him last summer? How do you think Felix and Viega and all these players are young, and they're not rhino skin, they're not solid as a rock. They're young'uns, they're still kids. Even though Viega, man, it's dubious. We need to see his passport, bruv. He looks about 40. It's like, right, what are we doing here? But Juventus supporters are saying we see Viega taking our free kicks. We're used to Pirlo taking free kicks. Fucking Del Piero, and now we got Renato Viega. It's a shambles. They can't wait to get rid of him. How are they going to sell these players? Do you know how many players we got to sell? Who's going to want to buy them? They're shit. And now we got a stockpile of players. And when they have to keep them because they can't sell them and they've used up all their loan freebies, then what? We're going to PR, Enzo Maresca wants the player and they're going to be in the squad. So to not take Kendry Paez is going to cause a lot of problems going forward. This is going to affect the team morale, the spirit, the unity. Enzo Maresca's got a massive job on his hands. Yeah. And to be honest with you, people go, oh, I'm going to back him even more now. Oh, big up to the gaffer. Look what he's done. He's doing so well. Fuck him. He's a yes man. He knows what he signed up for. And we're going to mud his comments right now. But he called out the supporters. He blamed the supporters and the environment for why we're conceding goals. Why shit goalkeeper that he made number one, that these clowns made number one, that was Brighton's third choice goalkeeper, conceding goals and making mistakes. Get out of here, man. You never go against supporters. You never call them out. Facts. Yeah. That will never sit right with me. I don't care what he does at Chelsea. I'll be real. Yeah. Win me the fucking Champions League and we can discuss it. Yeah. But you ain't going to do that because you're unproven. But let's go to Enzo Maresca's comments. Yeah. Shall we? Let's go to some of these comments. Yeah. They're an absolute disgrace. Maresca says, I don't want to lecture anyone. Having said that, the Champions League final has photographed the dominance of a young team capable of great technical plays expressed at a hellish pace, energy, running, pressing, offensive talent. Luis Enrique has built a spectacular PSG, and in my small way at Chelsea, I'm trying to do the same. You ain't trying to do shit, and we don't do small at Chelsea. We do big things, bruv. We're a bigger, more elite club than PSG. Factual, number one. All right? Number two, Luis Enrique is an elite manager. You're not. All right? So, yeah, you're small compared to Luis Enrique because he's already won the treble. He's won another treble. Let's have it right. At two different clubs. The only manager who's done that is Pep Guardiola, bro. And I'm pretty sure did Jose not do a treble at Porto and do a treble at Inter Milan? What are we doing here? Right? You ain't in that bracket. You won a Poxy Conference League and a championship title. What are we doing here? But Luis Enrique's project with Ocampos, an elite director, is mixing and blending Marquinhos, Hakimi's, Donnarumma, who's world class right now. He's the best goalkeeper in the world, bruv. And he's got so much experience. Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, 24 years old, like winner, experience, like mixed in with your Dues, your Neves, your Vitina's even experienced, bruv. And you got that world class left back. What's his name? Nuno Mendes, isn't it? All right. You look at that. That's why they win, because they've got a balance. The owner's not forefront is money. They want to build. They want a culture. They want a style of play. They brought in the elite manager to build with. They're building with the manager. These lot ain't building with you. You wanted Osimhen, and I know that for a fact. Yeah, that you were desperate for Osimhen. You didn't get him. They're not backing you. You wanted Mike Maignan, and now you're coming out saying you're happy with all the goalkeepers when we know you ain't. You're a liar. You're a fugazi. You're a fraud. You're a yes man. And that's why Luis Enrique rejected the Chelsea job, because he wouldn't be a yes man, and he knew this club and this model and this ownership is not a project for football. But Luis Enrique's PSG's project is for football, which is why they are going to dominate and are dominating, are the best team in Europe and will be the best team in club football. So your lectures, fuck me, what are your team talks like? Shambles. What is this PR? Enzo Maresca then says, Chelsea chose me because they had the idea I could grow with the team, because I did well previously, and because I came from Guardiola's school of football, the fucking disciple of Guardiola. You ain't even anywhere near, you're not even a toenail of Guardiola, bruv. I mean, what are we doing here, bruv? Yeah? Guardiola, you ain't even got the players Guardiola's got. So how are you going to play the Guardiola style of school of football if you ain't got those players? Oh, no, I've got a great idea. Let's go for the budget version. Let's call up Uncle Joe Shields and let's go to Man City's academy, which you worked at. And you were a cigar holder for Guardiola, who's a genius. You can't copy geniuses. Lego has been trying to copy Guardiola, and this football's gone from so-called attacking, high-pressing football to Stoke City in 5 years, spending 800 million, winning one FA Cup with a team that he didn't even build, that he inherited, that he gutted. I don't want to hear that you've been chosen like you're some prodigal son, that you're the chosen one, you're the golden fucking, you're a special one. You ain't a special one. Roman Abramovich bought the special one with Jose Mourinho, bruv. Yeah? Who just won the Champions League, bruv. Won the double, whatever, treble. He's a fucking goat. Yeah? Non-elite. You're just like all the players that they buy. Let's hope they're elite. We're not here to buy and bring in elite players and pay superstar transfer fees and prices. We're going in the market for elite players in the making. Oh, so what? We're elite managers in the making as well. How are you supposed to guide young players if the manager's non-elite? Fucking hell. Right? Then he comes on and says, we're a year ahead of schedule with Champions League qualification, as the club has asked me to achieve that in the space of 2 seasons. No, when you were recruited, I got a tweet from Matt Law that says the manager that's hired, which was you in the end, at the start of last season, has to get Champions League football and compete for a trophy. Yeah? So you've just on one hour in a nutsack, having the worst away record last season of any Premier League team with the relegation teams, just about because of everyone else capitulating. Well, let me remind you, Enzo Maresca, next season, if you don't fucking get the players that you want, that you ain't going to get, because all you're getting is Man City Academy prospect players that can't even get into Man City's team because Man City go in the market and spend the dough and act like a big club. And they're doing it, as John Terry says, on vouchers, luncheon vouchers. Let's have it right. That's what I say. Yeah. But they're buying an elite young experience for that matter, with experience blended in. Haaland on 500 grand a week, who's still young, on a 9-year contract. But we can't pay Victor Osimhen half of Haaland's wages. Make it make sense. So what intent is that? You told us all through the season. Oh, I was told nothing about getting top 4. Oh, we're not in a title race. We can't compete for all 4 trophies on front. So what chance have we got? Because we ain't got Conference League next season, and you can rest your first team 1 game a week. You're going to have to play your first team twice, and playing in the Champions League and elite level, where PSG will absolutely bend us over, spank us, piss on us, laugh at us, and drink a Lavatsu Glenma and smoke a Havana. And everyone's going to go, oh, look at us. We're a shambles. What a disgrace. And then what? We're going to protest after that? Bollocks. Load of waffle. This manager's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke. I've achieved that in the space of 1 season. Oh, well done. Thank you. You've achieved the bare minimum requirement of Chelsea Football Club, because there's no pressure from upstairs. The pressure comes when he hugs Cucurella and doesn't hug Reece James. Oh, what? Shakes his hand, Siri Merchant, when all the players are walking by, because that goal against Man United, a 1-0 against an in-the-gutter Man United. We played the already crowned champions, Liverpool, that played their B team. We got spanked by Newcastle away. We were very lucky to get top 4. Very lucky. And they know it. Which is why they were giving Care Bear hugs. That's why they were distributing more Diddy baby oil for everyone in to lava them up and bring in the Willie Issa to do the hacker, bruv, to celebrate getting Champions League football. To have them all in the dressing room chanting to Free From Desire for getting top 4, because the standards are in the mud. Chelsea Football Club is Champions League's club. It's a Champions League club. Chelsea Football Club. Bare minimum requirement. And this guy's trying to talk like that. Bruv, next season, I want title. I want Premier League. 4 years now we're going into. Phase 4. We're going to spend more than 1.6 billion, that's for sure. Doesn't look like it now because it's scrimping and saving the 20 million on Mike Magnan for a Trafford or for fucking kittens. Yeah. Oh, big up to the little librarian. You know, everyone's calling him Kittens. I wonder where that come from. I wonder where the nickname Kitten comes from. Yeah. And we're holding up kittens. You're all kittens. You're kittens drinking milk distributed by Blueco. Yeah. And if you're lucky, they'll send you the Diddy baby oil to lava up them brown envelopes for you. Sellouts. Fucking sellouts, bruv. Yeah. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Anyway, as we move on, yeah. As we move on, I've got some proof in the pudding here. Let's get it up. People like to see stuff, so let's get it up. Big up to my geezer London is Blues Instagram account's booming, bruv. All right, so Mike Magnan deal off now, yeah. So this was dated, what, 10th? So both dated on the same day. Goalkeeper Petrovic has not been included in the Club World Cup, right? But if you see here, Chelsea maintain full trust in Petrovic, Sanchez, Jorgensen, and talent Mike Penders for goalkeeper role, yeah? Then we go, understand contracts are started also with Enzo Maresca appreciating the French goalkeeper as the ideal option for his tactical approach because he loves his distribution. Chelsea are on it, and the manager has approved Maignan as a key target, right? Worth noting, Chelsea still retain faith in Robert Sanchez, who just finished the season strongly. Philip Jorgensen, Petrovic, Mike Penders. Chelsea spent about 45 million on Jorgensen, 45 million on Jorgensen and Penders, and back both to become elite goalkeepers. Maignan was a market opportunity explored by the sporting directors. Enzo Maresca not driving the move, and Chelsea sticking to valuation. They're flip-flops, bruv. All right? It's clipped in 5K, yeah? Clipped in 5K. Yeah? You want any more evidence? I just want to run through this. This is via Matt Law. Maignan's interest had put Sanchez's future in doubt, but Chelsea believe he improved through the season and saved the club at least 9 points, which helped the team qualify for UCL. All right. Now I want to play you Petrovic now. I want you to listen to this.
Like for you, stepping stone to maybe one day return to Chelsea through the big door, because you still have to earn your stripes, but you played in the Premier League. Is that maybe a chance for you to get back to Chelsea and be seen by people with different eyes? Because you were the goalkeeper that came from the United States, but now you're a goalkeeper. If you do well, yeah, you come from Liga, it's a different caliber.
Yeah, I agree. I have bigger responsibility on my chest to show my quality because I play in the Premier League on the highest level. So yeah, but I'm just thinking about I'm just focused about the Strasbourg and about the next game, and yeah, that's it. We'll see on the end.
But is it still your dream to establish yourself as number one at Chelsea?
Yeah, that is a goal to be number one in Chelsea, one of the best team on the world. So.
Good luck for you stepping.
There you go. All right, and with Petrovic, right, our Serbian brother from another mother. Let's have it right. I've always liked him. Donnarumma's available for 40 million euros, by the way, because he wants a new contract, right? We'll go and pay the money and get him. Fits the age bracket, but it doesn't fit the wage structure. So, again, you're limited in the market. Also not making the Club World Cup via Matt Lois, Sterling, João Felix, Disasi will not be going to the Club World Cup. Yeah? Shocking, bruv. It really is. It's absolutely it's demoralising, bruv. And you know what? Sanchez saved, apparently. He saved us the 9 points to get us Champions League football. Yeah, it's a joke. No, Cucurella did with his goals. All right. Tyreek George did. The turning point was Tyreek George against Fulham, getting that equaliser. That was the moment. And what mentality was shown by what player? A Cobham player who eventually they'll sell for £1 note. You know, Sanchez, he couldn't even save a kitten out of a tree, bruv. He couldn't dive to the tree to save a kitten, bruv. Yeah? How about that one? He couldn't even save any money on a meal deal, bruv. That's Robert Sanchez for you, mate. Yeah? Absolute joker, bruv, in the game. And that's where we are. Right, so let me run through some of the super minerals. And big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to everyone watching. Smash the like, hit the subscribe, all that jazz. Big up John Sway. He says, big up my G. Play smoke for that. Smoke that for you. Roman, please. All right, let's play it. Always do what the ultras ask, bruv.
Are you fucking having me on? Are you joking me right now? That's how deep that. This is how far they reach. Let me smoke that for you, Siri Merchant. Yeah? Let me smoke that for you, Ted Lassaboli. Yeah? You think you can fool us? You're a long way from Starbucks, mate. Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Let's have it right.
do like this one as well.
Well, we do leave stuff out, Todd. And if I wrote everything, I knew you'd be in big trouble.
Big up to Chelsea Empire. He's gifted 5 Minerals FC Ultra membership. Salute to you, my geezer. I hope you're doing well and your family's good, my geezer. Love. Big up to Adam Rated. He's Minerals FC Ultra for 14 months and always supports the channel. Always see you in there. It's basically the same squad that Barley made it top 4, but barely made it top 4 by luck. Everyone else is working for the future except this ownership. Keep the blue flag flying high, up the Minerals FC, long live Chelsea old boy. And that's the fact. It's a scary fact that the intent shown by Liverpool, they don't care about wages. You don't care about wages. You don't care about transfer fees for paying for the best players in the position in world football right now. You just pay and don't speak settings. They're not doing that because they ain't got the intent like that. They want to make superstars. When do you want to draw the line, ultras? And Chelsea supporters out there. My ultras are cool, yeah. They all know it. But I'm speaking to everyone else out there. When do you draw the line? You just want to continue accepting this shit. It's mad. Big up to Adam Rated. He's gifting 5 Minerals FC Ultra memberships. Love to you, my geezer. Chelsea Empire says, big up, Johnny. AC Milan sold 27-year-old Theo Hernandez for 23 million, and we're supposed to think Milan is hard to deal with. We never buy from Milan. So have it right. And you know what's funny? They actually put the PR narrative that because of the deal with Pulisic, that, you know, he should have been valued more and they should have got more money in the way it was negotiated. Blueco, the ones that sold Pulisic. So you got yourselves to blame. And you want to use that excuse? It's a joke, man. These lot are clowns. Their own PR is backshotting them in the rear end, bruv. So heavy, bruv. So heavy. Yeah. You'd think Bonnie Blue's got something on her, bruv. Big up to Michael C. Chelsea FC. He's an ultra for 18 months. Love to you, my geezer. He says, big up, Johnny. Got a feeling Victor Osimhen will join Arsenal. We know Gyökeres will head to Man United. And these wrongers accept this shit. Disgraceful. Well, actually, the links have been now Victor Osimhen to Man United. And on Tobes' list, it was Victor Osimhen to United. There is mention of Osimhen liking or dreaming to play at United. That's, you know, United are in the gutter. They've got terrible, disgraceful owners. And yet, players still want to play for that club because of the heritage. Big up John So says, we got Fernando Sucre in the nets. Yeah. Oh, bruv. I want that Fermin Lopez, mate. I want Fermin Lopez, bruv. Yeah. I want Fermin Lopez. Absolute baller. If you're looking at young talent and you want a superstar in the making, do you know what I mean? What are we doing here, bruv? So, again, all the brown envelopes have been exposed for what they do. We do it 24/7. But listen to this PR. This is via Paez and Mash's playback. The playback that Goldfish goes on. The Goldfish that was very, very quiet with the Maignan deal being an absolute disgrace and shambles, embarrassment. I wonder why. But carry on with the ITK stuff and not actually addressing the issues at Chelsea and putting the pressure on to use the platform. Instead, let's try and build credibility as a brown envelope, because that's what you are, a sellout, like everyone else. So it's come out. Chelsea will continue talks over Kittens until the end of the month in hopes of reaching an agreement. Garnacho and Williams on the list if Chelsea decide to walk away. We've just been PR'd. Williams ain't on the list. We've been PR'd by Fabrizio Romano. Oh, we're going to put serious financials together for Nico Williams. Nico Williams wants 300 grand a week. You're not going to buy Mike Maignan. Get out of here. Yeah? Have a day off. Don't hear that. PR! Lies! PR and lies to mask the shit show of what happened yesterday. Toothpick Jacobs related to Goldstein. Bloodline. Doing the mouthpiece work for one of the directors who got all the minerals, all the sources to feed out the scripts. Get in the bin, you toothpick. You brass. Goes on every YouTube channel like a slosh pot. to push the narrative out. So I blame these ones. You go, why are you getting so rattled, Johnny? I get rattled by it because you're part of the decimation of this football club, decimating it. You're the problem. You're the cancer. And now he wants to have the cheek to say Chelsea won't go back in for Mike Maignan. Chelsea won't go back in for Mike Maignan if Milan stick to the same price. Well, of course they're going to stick to the same price. He would have to drop. Tufik Jacobs again. A lot of people are confused and think there is this guarantee that some big expensive number 9 is coming in after Liam Delap, when actually it was Delap who was the priority target, which is also why he's been given the number 9 shirt too. If another one comes in, you'd think Jackson's future will come into question, who Maresca has big faith in. Yeah, of course. Maresca told us Nico Jackson's his perfect number 9. So what are we signing Delap for if he's your perfect number 9? And then you want a carbon copy of Nicholas Jackson. But if we bring in another striker, we're going to sell Nicholas Jackson. Make it make sense. Or there'll be overstocking, which could be dangerous. So there you have it. Liam Delap is our number 9. Fucking hell, bruv. Fucking hell. All the pressure you're putting on Delap now. All this pressure. With a cursed number 9 shirt as well. What are you going to do? Your juju? You're going to go and go to Bohemian Grove or something? What are you going to do, man, to make this guy become a Harry Kane? What are we doing here, bruv? Eyes wide shut merchantry. This is pissing in the dark, man. They're pissing in the dark. That's what they're doing. It's a joke. He's letting you know you ain't getting Osimhen, you ain't getting Gyökeres, you ain't getting none of these players. You're not getting any elite. We're buying a player because it was an opportunity signing. We can resell him. Fuck off. You know what? You YouTubers, you brown envelopes, you're all accountable, man. You can cry all you want. You can speak my narrative. You're too fucking late, man. You're too late. Chelsea are still assessing what to do with the striker situation, and that this is because Maresca still has big faith in Nicholas Jackson. Get out of here, bruv. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Chelsea do hold an interest in Ekitike, but I think it's Liverpool are really there. Chelsea were never as advanced as people said. I know. They're using Chelsea, Fabrizio Romano, the brown envelopes, the Tufik Jacobs to compete, to push Liverpool to pay top price for Frankfurt. End of story, bruv. Yeah. I don't think Chelsea will buy 2 wingers this summer, as they have Quenda coming in a year later, and they view him as a left winger. Oh my God, Bob, they've got no money. They've got no dough. They've spent it. They've taken all the debt. They spent the money. They bought us a shitload of mid. And now we're getting all the PR to justify, oh, this is all part of the plan. It's exactly as you drew it up. Fuck off. Yeah? And meanwhile, the main mechanics is Milo Bowley with Vivid Seats, Ticketmaster, double the price on membership. They're milking you all for £1 note. Do you know what? I'm glad I'm banned, bruv. I'm glad I'm banned. Fuck the owners. You made it personal. Fuck the lot of you. Literally, fuck you all. Anyone buying into this shit, man, you're a long way from Starbucks. You're a long way from Milani. You're a long way from fucking Kimbo. You're a long way from all grandma in existence, bruv. Yeah? You're a long way from Minerals. Bruv, this fan base is cooked. Everyone's cooked. Everyone's cooked, bruv. Burnt. Bangers and mash waffle, no onions, no gravy, burnt Lurpak mash, dry as you like. No Lurpak, bruv. No Lurpak. 20 million a year, tout Bowley. Bruv, there is no one landing it like this, bruv. There ain't no one, bruv. Yeah, and do you know why they don't land it? Do you know why they keep going with this toxic positivity or this false hope or, oh, we might get it right. We might get it right. Let's go 20 transfer windows. We just might get it right. You know, there'll be like fucking brains in Thunderbirds on their streams like that. You know, and occasionally doing a bit of this, you know, and then they're gone. They're gone. They're gone. They're absolutely gone. Mind programmed. They're all in the matrix, realise it's all facts, and they're like that. It's done. AI's picking the team. AI's picking the players. Oh my God. This is beyond the shambles. This is not Chelsea.
This is not Chelsea.
This is CFC LDN.
So a lot of players are directly testing, or I'm testing them too sometimes, to ask information. Or sometimes they tell me, please, can you say something about me because I want to leave the club? So yes, it's happening. And it's something strange. It feels still strange to me, but sometimes also big names are texting and they want to receive information or share information. So this is the new era of the transfer market, probably.
Time of the year that I normally get a little lull and respite. The season ends and the market doesn't quite start. I can go on holiday, relax, and maybe there'll be a story or two. I went on holiday last week and I spent the entire time fly from private jet in to meet players and break for my holiday, then go back to it. But
well, we do leave stuff out, Todd. And if I wrote everything I knew, you'd be in big trouble.
Let's keep going.
I'll say it again. I have messaged a owner of Chelsea Football Club. Okay, not going to tell you which one, but I have messaged a owner of Chelsea Football Club, told him all my fears about Garnacho and why it really should not happen, because this could really blow up in our face and we could be a circus even more from it. And that's how the public could view us. And if you think they don't care about how the public view them, what are you thinking? Because they very much care about how the public view them. Okay, so it can blow up in our faces. And I've messaged a sporting director. I'm not going to tell you which one either. I've told both of them, and I know for a fact both of them have read it. They know, they are aware of the red flags. So if they choose to do it and it blows up in their face the way we're telling them it might, gone. I mean, the owners can't be gone, but gone. Directors, gone.
You had to push the envelope out to get to that point. It's not just going to come. Not every single one's going to hit like that. You know, sometimes it's going to be like that one wasn't for me. But
some people will be like, Benson, shut up. You're an armchair fan. You live the other side of the world and you brown envelopes from the club. First things first. No, I'm not. This is all just flipping rubbish that people come out with because they've got no legitimate argument to come at and say, like, they disagree with an opinion or whatever. It's just cheap. It's pathetic.
Either way, I can come out and say this because I've been paid by Chelsea Football Club at times to work on certain projects. And I can tell you now, there is certain things that you just can't say about Chelsea, specifically painting the club in any kind of negative light. To the intentions of painting Chelsea Football Club in the best light possible, even if we're losing on the pitch and even if the owners don't know what they're doing and they're alienating the fan base. That's the truth.
Minerals FC mudded me. I couldn't give a shit about that guy. Just decided to call people out for no reason.
Fair play to Benson. He'll come on, don't worry.
So welcome back to the channel, guys. And today, as you can see, we have got the Lionel Messi of football journalism on the channel.
I'm calling you out as well, mate. All of you, I'm calling you out one by one.
So Stephen Howson's on the payroll. I didn't know. I've never seen Stephen Howson accused of being on the payroll.
I'm an independent channel.
So are we, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, grinding, man. Grinding, bro. Same as you.
Yeah.
Matching, same as you, bro. You're everywhere. We're everywhere. Everyone's working. Everyone's enjoying. You know what I mean? Well, not enjoying Man United, but in terms of the opportunities.
How can you eat that?
A good thing that I have, it's I don't like to read because I know 90% of the times they lie. They are garbage. The press, they are garbage. Not all of them, but most of them. They don't say the truth. And they lie. They constant lie.
Facts. So, you know, everyone's got a role to play, haven't they? Everyone's got a role to play. Listen, big up to everyone in here. Smash the like button, as always. I've also been told verbal offer from Galatasaray for Petrovic is €5 million loan fee and a €15 million purchase option. Negotiations ongoing. So we're going to send him to Galatasaray by the sounds of it. Viega says the defender had expected to return to Chelsea to play in the competition after winning the Nations League, Portugal, but he's been exiled because they want to sell him for the pound note. And Liverpool held talks before he rejected the move to Al Hilal. Victor Osimhen. So have it right. This is where we are, Ultras, yeah? This is where we are. We land it, we expose them all, and we continue, and we will always be the truth on here. End of story. So big up to every single one of you in here. We'll leave you with a Don Roman. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, put all your comments down below. Win, lose, draw, blue co out. No surrender mentality. And love and respect to everyone that supports the channel. And let's get our Chelsea back, because this CFC LDN nonsense needs to get in the bin. Yeah? Needs to be buried. Yeah? Facts. Let's have it right.